Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Branding While Black. I'm your host, Shanae Washington, and my mission is to educate, empower, and economically develop my people. I hope y'all been enjoying that cold weather that all of us got, well, most of us got over this past week. It has been completely disrespectful. I'm still praying for my people in Texas who are still dealing with the aftermath. But today, we are talking about episode 7, and the topic is how can we use our brand to create content for social media? A while back, I had posted a question asking my followers, what areas do you struggle in the most in your business? Now, you would think it would be getting customers or like marketing to them, but the main feedback that I kept getting was content development. Like, they don't know what kind of content to make, which is why I decided to say, you know what? Most people do it wrong anyway. So let's just go on ahead and throw out some ideas that you guys could just run with. Okay, first, we have to understand what our brand actually is. And it's not just the logo. And for whatever reason, branding has been like a buzzword lately. And it's finally getting out that your logo is just your logo, is not your brand, which I'm very happy that that is finally circulating around the entrepreneur world. But I feel like we dropped the ball when it comes to doing the research necessary to actually put our brand together. So, something that I do with my clients when they're launching new products or new services or new initiatives or a new brand or whatever, I take them through my process, which is the brand structure framework, right? And I know it sounds like a mouthful, but it's really worth it in the long run. If you do all the work up front, then you won't have questions like, I don't know what kind of content to build. Because really where that stems from is a lot of you are still trying to figure out which way you want your brand to go, or you're trying to figure out, well, what's the best way to talk to my customers, or you're just throwing stuff at the wall and just hoping that it sticks. And if you actually put together your brand outside of the design aspects of it, then you're going to give yourself more of a fighting chance, and you yourself are going to be more in tune with your company and your product and your services and who you are and what your company's personality is, so you know how to proceed forward. And a common misconception is that branding is marketing. And that's not necessarily true. When you're developing a brand, that's something that's intangible. That's something that people are going to associate when they hear your name. It's more like a feeling. And I'm sure you've heard that before, right? So, what do you do with that feeling? So, what I'm about to tell you is what should come to mind when people hear the name of your company, or when they hear your name if you're building a personal brand. They should know what your values are, which is, what are those attributes about you or about your company that's kind of like what's understood doesn't happen. So, for example, I have a creative agency called Dream Forward Media. And some of my values are things like integrity, I'm dependable, I'm creative, right? Like innovatively creative. Now, these are things that I don't have to physically say with my mouth, that my clients will just know by my actions. Like, these are things that's important to me, and these are things that I want my client to feel about me when they're referring me to their friends or to their peers or whoever. I want them to say those things about me. My clients know I will come through for them in the clutch. Like, I build relationships with my clients, and relationships are everything to me. Because of that, That's why I put those values on a pedestal in my agency, and my clients can actually see it, even though I don't say it. The second part is your target audience. They have to know, okay, am I their target? Like, am I their customer? Are they talking to me? Will their product or service benefit me? Like, these are the things that they should know about your brand. And the messed up part is that a lot of you skip the necessary research and steps that it takes to truly find who your target avatar or who your ideal avatar is. And it takes time, it takes research, and it really takes some brain power to put together profiles of the people who you're actually talking to. For example, my avatar, her name is Ashley. She's in her mid 30s. She has two small children. She does not work a 9 to 5. She is a full-on mompreneur, and she's married. She has a husband, but she carries a lot of the load on her own, and she does most of her entrepreneurial work at night. And she's always looking for new ways to increase her productivity while not taking anything away from her family time, because she's still doing her wifely and motherly duties. So that's my person. And that one person represents one segment of my messaging, of my target, of a service or a product or a course or whatever that I'm doing. So, and I'm not addressing all of my clients as Ashley, but when I'm actually crafting my content and stuff, I am acting like I'm talking directly to Ashley. I'm actually channeling her when I'm creating my content, because I know that this is going to benefit her. Okay, so the third one is you have to understand what your target's pain point is. Like, what keeps them up at night? These are things that people must know about your brand without you actually just telling them. So, of course, in your messaging, you're going to be talking about it, but you want that sustainable brand. They're going to just know without you saying anything that this is what you do, that you are the expert, you are the thought leader on this specific thing, or your product is like I don't want to use no other product, right? So, but you have to really understand where your avatar is coming from, and that's why that second one is so important, because people end up losing a whole lot of money and wasting a whole lot of time trying to market to every single person, and every single person is not your customer. And the fourth thing, of course, is them knowing what your product or service is. So when they see your name or your logo once again, then they know, oh, well, so and so sells this, or so and so does coaching on this, or and it's amazing. It's this, is that. I heard so many good things about it. Like, you want them to feel good vibes, right? So these four things is what makes up people actually identifying with your brand. Like, these are the things that you're known for. And circling back to the product or service, like, you have to understand your product or service inside and out, meaning that you have to understand what the features and what the benefits are, right? And it goes back to the tangible and intangible. The features are tangible characteristics about your product versus benefits, which are intangible traits about your product or service, right? So use those four different topics that we spoke about to drive the focus of your content, right? It is so easy. It's easier than you think it is to create this content, especially if that's why it's so important to know your brand inside and out. That's why a lot of you are struggling, because you don't yourself understand what it is that you do or what it is that you're trying to achieve. If you're just out here trying to get money, That's why you just throwing stuff at the wall, just hoping that it stick. And everything doesn't have to be sell, 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 sell. Gary V, who I'm sure everybody's familiar with, he has this book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And that's why he says that he gives so much free content and information out. So those are little jabs. But when he does come out with a product that he's actually asking his fan base to, or his followers or whoever, to actually spend their money on, they damn near feel like, oh, like I owe him this because he's giving me so much information and so much value for free and he didn't have to, you know? So I feel like that's a brilliant way to approach your social media content. Whatever your product or service is, you are supposed to be the expert in that thing. It doesn't matter who has more followers than you and what all they know. You are you. And as long as you focus on being you and you don't have getting money as the root of all of your content, like having all your little sales and stuff, like you will start to build that momentum that you're looking for. And the part that we miss a lot is that when we make content around these things, that we are helping to build our brand a little faster, right? Because you're taking it from people who have day-to-day contact with you, who can see what your values are and all of those things, like, because they're having that personal interaction with you. You're taking it from that to on social media, you're taking it to worldwide, to where people can really get to see who you are and who your company is in all of its glory. So you guys, just try not to overthink this. Seriously, reels on like Instagram is like the big platform that everybody's trying to grow on. On your IG reels, you can take literally any part of these 4 topics that I gave you. You could take any part of those and you can literally make hundreds of reels off of those. As long as you're not taking shortcuts, actually doing the hard work up front, you're gonna have content, and it's all within you. Like, it's really all within you. Look at some examples, look at some of your favorite influencers and stuff. If you notice, they really talk about the same damn thing over and over and over again, but you know what, they just do it in different ways. They present it to you differently. They bring out little different aspects of their main topic or their main goal of what they're doing or their main service. Like, they're just bringing you different POVs of it, you know? So don't overthink this. You can do it, but you have to put in the work. Develop your brand. All right, you guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you are tuning in, listening to us, viewing us at. Please hit that button so you do not miss anything that I have coming up for you. And especially next week, because I'm going to have an amazing guest. Her name is Joy, and she's an author. And if you want to get some inside scoop on how to become an author, and she's self-published as well, you don't want to miss next week at all. So, also to stay in the loop, text BWB to 504-499-0857 and you'll stay in the loop. All right, you guys, make sure that you connect with me on Instagram. It's at Shanae J. Washington. I'll see you next week. Peace.